Perhaps she was already too lost to be saved. "It's too late to change who you are." "No," she told the whispers in her head. She dug the small ruby out of her handbag and grasped it in her palm. Her mother would prefer she sell the heirloom than herself. "Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow." She sneaked another glance at Fred as he sniffed, crinkling his beak of a nose. She'd come this far, and she'd not go back. Not now. Not ever. Deeper into the narrow passage, she hurried until she found the alley. She quickened her stride, the race of her pulse pressing her forward to the next street. "Reckon this'll do ya." The toothpick of a man who spoke hefted a sack of flour into the back of a chuck wagon. A table-like platform lowered like a tailgate, allowing shelves and cubbies to be loaded with supplies. A second gent followed, an older man with a face like rawhide, toting a side of bacon and a bag of salt. "At least for a few more miles." He tucked his load under his arm and shook the hand of the first man, who looked to be the proprietor of the mercantile, apron draped to his knees. A shuffle behind her spun Lenora to the shadows of the alley. Fred's large form appeared on the same route she had taken. Their gazes met, and his mouth curled up. Lenora scampered to the front of the buildings and out of his view, for the little good it would do. He had tracked her this far. Was there anywhere to run? To hide? "Good doing business with you," the mercantile owner said, shaking the other man's hand. "All the best with your travels." Travels? Lenora skirted around the front of the wagon, seeking an entrance. The canvas cover was pulled taut, secured to the sides. The wagon shook as the men lifted the overlarge tailgate and secured it in place. Lenora hefted her hem and scrambled up onto the bench seat at the front. "Thank you," the second man said with an easy drawl, circling toward her. Trying not to jostle the canvas, Lenora slid over the back of the seat and onto the lumpy piles of supplies below. She wriggled into a crack and ducked her head. The thud of footsteps at the mouth of the alley proclaimed Fred's arrival, but the driver of the chuck wagon had already mounted his seat. Lenora clamped a hand over her mouth and tried to still her breath. The released brake squeaked, and the wagon shifted. "Did you see a woman come through here?" Fred's voice sifted through the thin canvas concealing her. "A pretty blonde, about yay-high." The wagon heaved forward, and Fred's voice faded. Lenora closed her eyes, not allowing for relief. Not yet. She prayed the turning of the wheels and plodding of horses' hooves drowned out the drumming of her heart. Only as the sounds of the town grew distant did she dare fill her burning lungs. Just when she thought things couldn't get worse, she should have realized Channing wouldn't give up so easily, but not because he loved her. Oh, no. He might spout his adoration, even pretend to care about her, but the pot of gold was the only thing that mattered to him. She was nothing more than an effective tool to draw customers. A singer. New York had been her goal. Boston. Europe. Channing had never been able to bear that she wanted more than his fine establishment. And now he'd won. He had destroyed her. "You comfortable back there? Or do you want to climb up on the seat now?" The wagon rocked to a stop, and the driver turned to look down at her. "We're away from town and that man looking for you." She rose, and he offered her a hand in maneuvering to the front. Her face flamed. "I'm sorry, No need for apologies. We're not far from town, so you'll have time to figure out what to do next on your way back." "I can't go back." Panic spiked through her. Fred would be watching the train station and probably have left her description with the liveries as well. Only a matter of time before he found her again. The man's frown deepened along with his well-set wrinkles. "You thinking to come along?" He looked her up and down as though assessing. "This ain't no pleasure ride, ma'am. Got near 500 head and a passel of cowboys. No place for a lady like yourself." He appeared a full decade older than her father, and surely a man so anxious about her well-being would serve as a safe chaperone.